Just like when a landlord won't make repairs and the roof is leaking and the ceiling is leaking and the bathroom is broken and they want a rent increase anyway.
Chances are you have had trouble finding an affordable apartment in New York City. Or maybe there's a pesky leak in the ceiling that the landlord won't repair. I'm an organizer with Housing Conservation Coordinators on the west side of Manhattan, and we're working to solve these problems. On October 1st, hundreds of tenants, progressive politicians, and one Latin jazz band came together at the Harlem State Workers Building to let Governor Patterson, the State Assembly, and the New York State Senate know that New Yorkers need real rent reform now, and they need to move quickly to protect and preserve affordable housing.
It's October 1st. The laws went into effect. The rents are going up.
Today is a sad day. Today is the beginning of the new rent increases in the city of New York for rent-stabilized apartments. What does that mean? That means that a lot of New Yorkers are going to struggle to come up with rental payments every month.
While we live in poverty, they're turning up their nose.
Nothing else works if you don't have a safe home you can afford to raise your family in, to stay in, to age in place in as a senior citizen.
The four major goals of the Real Rent Reform campaign are to repeal vacancy decontrol, it also would strengthen the rent laws for Mitchell-Lima tenants whose buildings opt out of the program. Those buildings built before 1974 would become rent stabilized.
Let's keep everyone in affordable housing. Don't let the greedy landlords take Mitchell-Lima out and throw our neighbors out on the street.
The third would be comprehensive reform of the Rent Guidelines Board.
We're going to restructure the rent board. We're going to make the rent board fair. Common sense. Fair. Fair. A fair rent board. What a concept. And when you put me in the majority, when you put the Dems in the majority in the state Senate, we're going to finally have a fair rent board in this city.
That board is stacked against tenants and is laden with real estate interest.
Queremos cambiar con los caseros. Bueno, primeramente el acoso, el abuso que tienen los caseros con los inquilinos, principalmente en Washington Heights, porque ellos quieren sacarnos a nosotros de las viviendas, porque se están moviendo de aquí abajo para arriba, porque para allá pagan más barato, pero nosotros no, nosotros nos pagamos caro. Pero sí queremos que haya un cambio en las leyes de los 4 años de límite que tienen ahora para uno reclamar el alza de la renta, los aumentos, el descontrol de lujo.
The fourth and final effort would be home rule for New York City.
We're going to bring the power back here to New York City. We're going to repeal Erstad, and we're going to give the people in New York City the power to have their own rent regulations.
When we take the state Senate, we're going to move that legislation through to protect tenants that has been sitting there stalled by Republicans for decades. We're going to be able to get the vacancy decontrol gone. We're going to be able to get Erstad repealed. Let city elected officials decide New York City housing policy, not people from wonderful counties upstate New York who don't even understand what it is to be a tenant, who don't understand what it means to live in a city where you can't afford your housing and there are no alternatives if you lose the home you had.
But those upstate politicians will accept political donations from New York real estate interests and gut our rent laws. We believe New York City Council should have power over the rent and eviction laws because that's better government.
You are not alone. That we need affordable housing not only in New York City, but in Westchester County and upstate New York. Assemble, organize, motivate, vote, rally.
So what do we want? Real rent reform.